Hey guys, it's Tiny Tom Logan back with another video for you. Now, we did do the launch for the RTX 4070s yesterday, and the RTX 4070s that we launched yesterday were the MSRP cards. So basically the Founders Edition, and anything else that I had that was 589 GBP or $599. Now, I only had the Gigabyte one, which I actually quite liked because it had an 8-pin PCI Express connector on it rather than a 12VH PWR connector on it. I will pop the video review up, so if you'd like to go and have a look, you can head over there, take a look. Now, the Zotac that I have here today is the first of my cards that costs more than MSRP. This one is $649. So effectively it is £60 more than the MSRP cards, but straight away from the get-go, it actually looks like someone bothered to design it. Now, the Founders Edition, obviously very well overmade, over-designed, but it's their own card, so that they've got much bigger, like pots of money to be able, because effectively they're just making their own card. So they've not got to go and buy the chipset from themselves, so they've got more money to be able to spend on things like funky heat sinks. When it comes to the aftermarket cards, they've obviously got to work a little bit harder. But I really like this Zotac card. This is the point that I'm trying to get to. It's not just a square graphics card with a square heatsink wrapped around the outside of it. It does look like somebody owns more than a ruler when it comes to the design phase. Now, the gold touches on the front of the fans is actually very minor, but it does tie in with the kind of pearly sort of gold flip that there is down the side of the graphics card, which, if I come in to show you, you can see there it's kind of a pearly flip. And then you've got the gold down here. So it kind of ties in, so you get gold and blue and all of that sort of stuff. But if you have a look round the end, it's all curvy. It makes it feel really modern. It's just a pretty looking card. Now, the light down the side of the card and round the back of the card, it's got a lovely little startup thing where it flicks down and it goes orange first, but then it flicks into the RGB mode. You don't actually see the lights until they light up either. So if you wanted to disable the lighting completely, then this is pretty much how it's going to look. But it is RGB, so you can change it to your own colours and your own themes and stuff as well if you like. Now, when it comes to performance for this, temperatures were good. But then again, it's got a big funky heatsink and everything on it anyway, but it's ridiculously quiet. It's the most important thing. Performance-wise, I will show you before I fall over and break some glass that's behind me. Performance-wise, it was just in front of the other two that I've done, so the Gigabyte and the Founders, on most stuff. But it was very, very minimal. Like, incredibly minimal. They are pretty much the same thing, and there's no big leaps ahead with like crazy overclocks on any of these that I've seen yet. Obviously, I've only seen 3. So effectively, the difference between this and the other ones is the way it looks. Now, some of you may love this card for the aesthetics and some of you may hate it. But the only thing that you really need to decide is, should you be spending an extra £60 for it to look like this? And I think if you've got a pretty looking system and you're going to have it normally mounted, I actually think it's probably worth a punt. But if you're going to be vertically mounting, I'm not entirely sure, because when you do stand it upright like that, it's still very pretty, but I kind of really like this bit down the side more than I thought I would. And the other thing I would say is, as you've seen in the B-roll with the lighting, the cables that come with it are horrid. They are just the adapt cables are just not very nice. So if you either need to know that you've got a power supply that has got one of these adapters with it already, or you're going to end up either buying a new power supply or getting an adapter cable. Now, a lot of the power supplies that are out there, you can go and buy an upgrade from Cable Mod. A lot of the power supplies out there, you can actually get an upgrade from the power supply manufacturer. but this does include more cost. So if you've already spent £650 on your card, then you might end up spending another £30, maybe £50 buying a cable. Things add up very fast, and it does get you to the point of maybe not having a 4070 and maybe thinking about trying to find a cheap 4070 Ti. So please go careful, unless it's going to be a long-term investment and you do just want to make sure that you've got one of these cables ready for maybe next time, or you know, you're happy, you need a new power supply anyway, so you're happy to get something like this knowing that you're going to be getting one of these anyway. It's just take your time with it, because I think the best bit about these cars is the aggressive price. So if things push on too much, I am going to be that person that says maybe you shouldn't be spending that much on a 4070. So that's it then, peeps. Very pretty card. Just go careful with your cables. For $650, it's okay. I wish it was a bit cheaper, but I wish it was a bit cheaper just so that you had more money to go and buy a Domino's or have a visit to Greg's or something, rather than having to spend more and more and more money on graphics. But it is much, much prettier, as far as I'm concerned, than the other two. So I will leave that with you. Very short, sweet, in, out. If you got to the end and you get yourself an internet cookie today, but because I've not done it for a while, we're going to have an internet cookie and ice cream, which you can tell me about in the comments. Please don't forget to share, like, do all of that sort of stuff. I do appreciate it. And if anyone's got any questions or stuff, I always keep an eye on the comments. But for now, at least, this is the tiniest one with another video for you out. Ding! Love you, sis. I had to